This is Pastor Nathaniel Bronner with brothersoftheword.com and the Ark of Salvation. I want to first of all thank all of you who have supported this ministry through the years, and particularly those who have supported us during this pandemic season. I mean, it's been phenomenal. The Ark has been open for a long time. We shut down for maybe 3 weeks during the beginning of the pandemic. And after that, I think we were the first church in the city to reopen. When I asked God, I said, Lord, when do you want me to open the church up? He gave me a date on the biblical calendar. I went and looked it up. I said, oh my goodness, this is next Sunday. You want me to open this church next Sunday? And when I told people that, they said, Pastor, that's just too soon. Everybody else shut down. Businesses shut down. Churches shut down. That's just too soon. But we opened up. I followed what God said. And God told me this. He said, you didn't shut your businesses down, but you want to shut my house down. We reopened super early. We've been having services twice a week ever since. There has not been one single case of COVID transmission from the Ark. Not one single case. Now, we've had over a dozen folks it's caught COVID. No question about that. But they didn't catch it at the church. They caught it at family gatherings and other stuff outside of the church. We've had no transmission, not one single case of transmission of COVID from the church, because we have followed some pretty serious guidelines that I put in place from the beginning. Because pandemics are not new. They're all over the Bible. They were called pestilences and plagues. Pandemic is not new. This is an old biblical thing. So we put medical approved procedures in place. We got temperature monitors for everyone who walked in. We took temperature. We had social distances. We require masks. So we followed all of the guidelines. That's why there was no transmission. So not only did we not have one single case of COVID from the church, we have had one death. And we've only had one hospitalization. And that hospitalization was a person who has not returned to the church or been to the church since we first closed it. So they haven't been back since we reopened. So they didn't get it from the church. But they also did not get many of the things we put in place to help you stay healthy. For example, every Sunday, every attendee gets a free immunity smoothie. This smoothie is packed with stuff that helps to boost and strengthen your immune system. We also give you a dose of vitamin D. Every single Sunday you get vitamin D, because the science has shown that 96% of people who are hospitalized or die from COVID are vitamin D deficient. We give you the vitamin D, we give you the immunity smoothie. On this next service, we're going to give you a KN95 mask. I've purchased all different kind of masks. This is the one I've standardized on. I've had cloth masks, mesh masks, all kind of masks. This is the best type because I can breathe easy in it, and it's a 95% filtration, so it works extremely well. And because of the way it's structured with this little tent, it doesn't press against my nose and mouth where the airflow is restricted, so I can breathe better in this. It filters through everything. It's got this little metal strip at the top. You can tighten or loosen that as much as you want. It's comfortable around my ears. I just like this mask. And I want to make this available to anyone who wants one every service as long as this pandemic is around. And it really lasts a long time. You don't need to change these that often. We're going to give you one of these every week for anyone who wants it. You're going to get your vitamin D every week for anyone who wants it. You're going to get your smoothie, your immunity smoothie, every week for anyone who wants it. So we're not just protecting you while you're in the church. We're going to send your body out stronger when you leave the church. I recently recovered from COVID myself. Let me give you the story on that. At my company, we test for COVID every Monday. So every Monday, everybody in the company goes through a COVID test. We have a meeting on Tuesday. The meeting is separated into two groups. One group is in the plant, one group is in the conference room. And in the plant, they're socially distanced. They have masks on. In the conference room, for this first time, I said, look, since everybody just tested negative yesterday, we won't need the mask. We'll take those off because I know everybody in here is negative. Well, everybody was almost negative. There was one person who was positive, but they tested negative on that Monday. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether they just got infected, so the test didn't register yet, or whether they left the job on Monday and got infected Monday afternoon or Monday evening, and when they came into the meeting on Tuesday, they were infected. Of the 6 people in the room, virtually everybody got COVID. So that was Tuesday, December the 14th. I was actually traveling. I was traveling with my son and a fellow from the church of Trainer Ringo Max, and as we were traveling that Wednesday night, which was December the 15th. I'm in my hotel room by myself. My son had a separate room. Ringo had a separate room. And all of a sudden, I started getting cold. I mean, this cold went to the bone. I turned the heater on. Still didn't help. I was just cold. And I said to myself, this is not normal. I don't get this kind of cold. I kind of knew this is COVID. But let me tell you what happened. I'm freezing. I go to bed. By the time I wake up in the morning, there are no symptoms. So I had chills or I was cold for about 3 or 4 hours. And after that, and since then, I quarantined for 2 weeks after that. So I'm really just getting back. And I had no symptoms whatsoever after the first 3 or 4 hours of just being cold. And that was it. If you keep your body in real good shape, now anything can happen. But I'm a statistical man. And what I do know is most of the people who are in the hospital or die from COVID, they have a multitude of comorbidities, meaning they got a whole lot of stuff wrong. That's why at the church, we give you things to help strengthen your body. We're going to make sure, number one, you don't catch it at the church. And number two, if you do catch it somewhere else, we've done everything we can to strengthen you so that you don't have severe reactions with the COVID. Now, for those of you who are vaccinated, absolutely, you need to be vaccinated. You need to be boosted. There are some of you who are not going to take the vaccine. I'm not vaccinated. I'm not vaccinated, and I'm not going to get vaccinated. Period. That's a whole nother discussion, and that's a personal and a medical choice. I knew my body was strong. I knew I was not going to have major symptoms from COVID. I knew I was going to fight it off. I've never had the flu. I don't catch colds, and I don't have a comorbidity. So I knew my system. I'm in perfect weight. So I knew all of the things that normally are super negative I didn't have. So that's why I'm not vaccinated. So I'm not going to get vaccinated, but I'm in really good shape. Now, today is December 31st. Today is my birthday. I'm 66 years old. 3/4 of everybody who's died from COVID was 65 plus. So I'm in the group where they killed 3/4 of the folk. I ain't worried about it because I am going to do the right thing to keep my body in shape as best as I can. You can't ever, figure what's going to happen. It's only probabilities and statistics. But anyway, we're going to keep the church open. We're going to give you a K95 mask. If you want one, we're going to give you your vitamin D when you come to service. We're going to give you your immunity smoothie. You will be required to keep your mask on. We will be required for social distancing. We're going to be at service tonight, 10 p.m. We're going to be there at watch night. Every single year. Now, the last 2 years I've been out of the country because that's what God has told me to do to bring in the new year. This year, I'm going to be in the church. So if I'm not somewhere else where God has told me to be, I'm going to be right there in his house to bring in 2022. I've got a special message tonight. I think it's going to bless you. Now, we'll be streaming, and I appreciate all of those who watch us live on the stream, brothersoftheword.com, so you can watch it live on the stream. But I will tell you this, if you're going out to restaurants, if you're going out to movies, and you try to go see Spider-Man and see how packed the theater is, if you're going to movies, if you're going to restaurants, if you're going out to the mall, why are you not coming to God's house? It's a real deep question. Who do you worship, and who are you giving priority to? So we're going to be there. You're going to be safe. Hopefully, I'll see you. If I don't see you in person, then you'll be on the stream. This is Pastor Nathaniel, tonight at 10 p.m. Come out and join us so that we can bring in this next year. Because I don't know what 22 is going to bring, but what I do know, I'm going to be in the house of God when it rolls in.